For the first time in years, the city of Denver will not grow the size of government next year in terms of jobs. Instead, Mayor Mike Johnston announced today that 200 open positions won't be filled in next year's budget. Our Evan Krugel looks at where those cuts could happen.
Impact more than 80% reduction.
$260 million.
119 of these this year.
A press conference about a budget.
We're proposing $12 million for next year.
Can include a lot of numbers.
Welcome back to Econ 101.
But at Mayor Mike Johnston's 2025 budget reveal, there was one number that stood out: the number of full-time city jobs being cut in Denver.
We will go from what has historically been about a 200 FTE per year increase in the city size every year to what will be close to a 200 FTE decrease in this year for the first time in almost 15 years. Key in that, there are not furloughs, there are not layoffs.
Instead, Johnston says 200 open positions will not be filled as the city deals with economic uncertainty.
What you will see overall is that this budget reduces the size of government and reduces the growth of government for the first time in 15 years, other than the one-year aberration of the pandemic.
Those cuts will come from departments citywide, but there's one area that will not see reductions.
The short answer is they come from all parts of the city, with the exception of they do not come from uniformed officers.
Chief Ron Thomas expressed support for the budget after his department had to cut about 2% of its budget this year to deal with the migrant crisis.
Well, I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged that the mayor continues to invest in public safety. Obviously, the investment in additional officers on the street, additional investments in things that I think that are going to keep neighborhoods safe. And so certainly we have seen crime go down, and I think that we are on a pathway for that to continue to occur.
Johnston's budget calls for the city to hire 168 new police officers. That would be a net increase of more than 100 when you factor in officers who retire each year. One other big note from that announcement today: the city planning to spend just $12.5 million on migrant aid next year. That's down from $90 million that Johnston had budgeted for this year. Kyle.
And obviously a lot of that is incumbent on conditions at the southern border, right, in terms of how many people are coming to the community. In the last wave, at the very end, Denver took a hard line saying we are out of resources, but certainly we're going to have to see what actually happens on the ground next year.
Less people coming here, and the city has scaled back on those resources to the point where they actually had some leftover money in this year's budget that should go towards other things in the city's budget next year.
Evan Krugel, thank you.